We're back at Avenir. I was going to keep this a secret where I was, but I can't help myself. We are at Solana Bay, one of the newest communities here in Avenir in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. My name is Ray Fernandez. I'm with Living in Palm Beach, Florida, powered by eXp Luxury Homes. Welcome. Each week, we give you an idea what it's like living here in South Florida, what it's like living in Palm Beach, what it's like today living in Palm Beach Gardens and Avenir. This week, we're going to look at the smaller and most elegant and one of the more elegant communities of Solana Bay. Each community here in Avenir has a personality, I find. The people at Coral Isles are very different than the people at Apex. Apex is 500 plus homes. Coral Isles is like 107, I think is the number. So that because of the size right there is going to be a difference. Those homes in, they're both pretty large homes. If you go to Avondale up the street, different personality. Homes there are much smaller. You don't get a 5,000 square foot home in Avondale. You get nice homes, but anyways, each community is a little bit different. If you want to know which Avenir community, the hottest community in Florida, reach out. Cut to the chase. Solana Bay is 118 homes. So it's on the smaller side. It's a little bit larger than Coral Isles. It is less money than Coral Isles. And so some people, if your budget, you can still get in here under $2 million. If you're looking at Coral Isles, you need to be about $2 million. They are about a year open here now, and they're already over 50% sold. 18 years ago, my family and I relocated to this beautiful part of the world we call sunny South Florida, and we haven't looked back. Today, we truly find an honor to help people, perhaps like you, do the exact same thing. So if you're thinking about moving to this area, you're considering it, you want to ask questions who've actually done it before, from people who've actually done it before, well, there's a few ways to get a hold of us. Down below is our email address. That's one great way. Also on the screen, you see our phone number. You can either call or text, but literally two of the best ways are in the description in the comments section. You can click on that link. What that'll do is have some time for us to speak, either through a phone call or through a Zoom, whatever way you feel most comfortable. In any case, we have your back when it comes to relocating to sunny South Florida. A couple of nice things about this community. They have the lots here, many of which are on the lake. I think that's really attractive to some people. Some people are lake people, some people are not. When I say lake, I really mean retention ponds, but they call them water lots. A lot of the homes here have pools, which I think is nice. That's going to help home values in the future. There are some people that like a smaller community in an elegant, larger community such as Avenir, which is 4,000 homes. If that's you, this is a community I would consider. If you're thinking about buying new construction here in Palm Beach, and you're thinking, if you heard of Avenir, now is sort of the time. I can literally go to the middle part of Palm Beach County, and people still have not heard of this community. I've seen price appreciation over the last 3 years, significant, and I truly think that it will continue. Over there is Panther National, which is a membership community. You have $12 million homes. If you buy a home here for $1.5 million plus, let's say here, I find it hard to believe that I feel like your property value will be protected, given that your next door neighbors are, living in a $12 million mansion. Here at Living in Palm Beach, Florida, powered by eXp Luxury, we deal in high-end homes. We know what the differences are. Each builder, there are several different builders here in Avenir, and each one's a little bit different. All of them are high-end. You don't get the lower production home builder here. They're all from like the middle on up to the significantly highest. At Panther National, you can get a custom home. We can help tailor what makes sense for you. And there's a lot to choose from when it comes to picking a home and looking at and considering Avenir in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. We are on Model Row, and what I love about this community is there are both quick delivery and to-be-built homes. So let's take a look at one of the nicest communities that Palm Beach has to offer. So stick around to the end. I'm going to go through the math. There's a lot of math. If you're buying new construction homes here in Palm Beach, there's a lot to take into account, like a CDD fee. Like in this particular community of Avenir, there's one that uses one clubhouse. There's other communities that use other clubhouses. Use the other clubhouse. So there's a lot there. We're going to go through the math, the HOA fee. We're going to go through some of the models. I'll show you the entrance. Not all entrances are created equal here in Avenir. So here in this community, we have there's a total of 12 floor plans, and there's a total of 5 models. So just because you don't see it here doesn't mean they don't have it here. So you're wondering where you are here. Where is Solana Bay? Well, let's go to the map.
All right, here is the satellite map of Avenir as a whole. As you can tell, if I zoom in, there's not a lot there. There's been so much growth in this area that the Google Maps has not been able to keep up. Solana Bay is right here, right across the street from Apex. And you could see, I want to point out Coconut Boulevard because this is important. Right now, this is closed. Like Coconut Boulevard stops right at North Lake. There is a ton of construction right here. You see my mouth circling here. There's a lot of, they're getting ready to open this up. They got the 2 big towers on both sides. And this is the town center right here, right to the right here, to the east here. And once this is open, this is going to make it real easy to get to all these communities, including Solana Bay, including Apex, and PGA National. When they open up Coconut Boulevard to the north, it's going to go all the way up here to Beeline Highway over to, you see to the right here, to the east here, to PGA Boulevard. It's going to make getting into downtown Palm Beach Gardens super easy. Now, if I shift over to the site map, if you look at this map, has been around from the beginning, so it doesn't have all the everything on there. Actually, it does now. Coulter Homes says Coulter Homes. Coulter has another community coming up. More on that in another video. That's in the early phases. But as you can see here, they're talking about Community Clubhouse Phase 2. So this is still a little bit on the older side. But a couple things to point out on this community map, on this site map. There's going to be a medical office here, which is going to be Jupiter Medical Center. There's a charter school here, which is going to be Somerset Academy, which is a high regarded school here locally. And there's also going to be over here, you see to the west here, the southwest, there is an Avenir farm. So there's a lot going on in this little area. When all is said and done, they're going to make this area very self-sufficient from the rest of Palm Beach Gardens, but at the same time, very easy to get to the rest that all that Palm Beach Gardens has to offer.
I hope you found that helpful. Now let's continue and see what they have to offer here at Solana Bay. So here at Solana Bay, in general, I find they're a little bit higher end, especially as compared to some of the other communities. They're not the highest. When you're looking at Avenir, the highest priced communities are, number one by far, is Panther National. Insight that I've been getting is they've been averaging about $12 million. So that's a significantly higher price point than the other communities. Next is Coral Isles, which is the Kenco builder. Those two are the most highest. Kenco ranges from about $2 to about $4 million. Then when you kick it down a notch in terms of price, you have here Solana Bay, and the builder is Akel, and this is the Redondo model. And I'm going to show you what it looks like when you walk in this exact model. So this is the Redondo model. It is a 2527, 2,527 square feet under air. As you guys who follow the channel know, that's code word for living space here in Florida, under air conditioning. Total of 3,280 total space. The differences when you look at those numbers are, like if you look out here, I don't know how well, you could see it pretty well, I think. This is like a covered patio. That's included in the total square feet. This is under air, is obviously anything under air conditioning. They also include the garage. So those are the differences in the in those numbers. In general, I'm looking at their sheet. They have a Venice model, which is 2274. They do not have a model of it, but that they have a Venice floor plan is a better way to say it. And they start at, that's going to be your lowest price. So they start at $924,000 right now today. Bear in mind, they're raising prices. They continue to raise prices. And that's not realistic in terms of an all-in price. A little bit later, I'm going to go outside. I'm going to talk a little bit about lot pricing. That's always important. As I've said many times in the past, don't when you go to their website, don't register on their website. Let me register you. It saves a bunch of problems. Anyways, more on that later. When you go to their website, the base price of the house those prices are just the base price of the house. Does not include the land and does not include the upgrades. When you look at a house like this, and I'm going to go here to the kitchen. They use KitchenAid is one of their vendors for appliances. When you go to their kitchen and anything in here, these are all upgrades. When they sell this house years from now, when this community is getting ready to sell out, they will likely sell it decorated, and the price will be higher because the upgrades here are numerous on the decorated models versus the average, what the average person will spend on the price of a home. So I'm looking at their sheet here, their model sheet, and I love this. This is something that we're seeing a lot of, and I've been mentioning it more in my videos. Multi-generation. Builders love using that term. I remember we had a listing up over in Westlake a while back, and we were working with the builder listing on some of the last homes that were quick delivery homes before they sold out, and he kept using that word. It's like the buzzword. It's like someone told them to keep using the word multi-generation and don't stop using it until everyone gets sick of it. Well, hopefully you're not sick of it yet. This house has multi-generation features. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath with a optional multi-generational plus. So I think the reason they say that is because if you look here, I mean, this is the front, and you back up into here, there's a room right off the front that if you have like in-laws, you could, and there's a full bath right here. If you have in-laws or, older parents, that's something you can use. They can convert it for that. Also, many Florida builders now, they do this. They do like an office off the den, or an office off the beginning, sometime before the kitchen. That's very common. That is started around COVID, becoming much more prevalent around COVID as people were more and more remote jobs came about. So we're seeing almost all the homes I go to now are like that. The other factor I think is good. I wish my home was like this. This is like their laundry room, and this is nice. They're getting bigger. I think they've smartened up that people want a little bit more room when it comes to their laundry. And of course, it is very open. Those are the features I think that people, one of the features that people appreciate, buyers, families appreciate, is the open floor plan. And also, last but not least, if you notice, there's no real dining room here. They have this dining area right here, and they have the kitchen. We find that more and more people, the builders have found, more and more people hang out here at the kitchen area. So they've made these bigger islands, both bigger from a width and a length perspective. I mean, you go back, 5-10 years ago, the islands were not as big as they are today. They typically are using quartz as opposed to granite, but those are some of the features that builders are featuring in their homes, whether it's this builder here at Kell or whether it's any of the builders here in South Florida. They all seem to have those features that they bear in mind. All right, before we go into the next model, I want to let y'all stick around towards the end. We're going to go over not just the cost of stuff, but also what some of the amenities they have in mind here. Also, some of the area. Avenir has a lot to offer in terms of what's around in the town center. We'll talk about the town center a little bit. But here we're going to go into the Manhattan. It's one of their bigger ones. If you're looking at the sheet here, I believe it's their second biggest. It is their second biggest that they have to show you on site. It's a total of 3,865 square feet under air. I'll show you the sign in a second. Up to 4,214. Why is that? Well, the reason is because they because there's room for personalization. You could do some customization. They don't like the word customization, by the way. That's like a taboo word in the builder's language. They've used personalization. But in any event, the long story short, the truth is that you can make some changes to the home to make it a little bit bigger or stick with it a little bit smaller. Obviously, there's a cost with it, but here's what the Manhattan looks like in terms of its features. Let's see what we have here in the Manhattan. Okay, to tell you a little bit about this house, 3,865 square feet under air, up to 4214. I said that before. I mean, total square feet can be as large as over 4,800 overall. Lots of times those features that give you the differences are the extensions of the patio or the extensions of the family room. You can oftentimes, knock it out, make it a little bit bigger. As you can see, and it's hard because we're all steamed up here, look at that. There's the pool out there. I think this is one of the places, pool not monitored. I could probably go out there. Maybe I'll try that in a little bit. It looks like a nice pool. They do allow you here at Solana Bay to, when you build your homes, to include a pool. And pools today are like over $100,000. This particular builder is in conjunction. They usually have a contract with a particular pool builder. This particular builder is using Fontainebleau. More on that later. But you have here 4 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, 2 suites, an office, a home gym, and again, optional 5th bedroom. So they give you lots of latitude here. So I think a lot of those features, in terms of changes, are upstairs. So let's go see what we have upstairs here in the Manhattan. So as you can see here, we have a super nice loft. They've made it into a game room here. Who remembers, leave a comment down below. Who remembers Mr. and Mrs. Pac-Man? I love this. Movie theater room, I'll go in there in a minute. I was in a builder yesterday, a different builder here in Avenir. And they had I walked in, I have to get it on video one day. I walked in, the screen went down, everything turned off, the lights went off, and the movie started. Just noticing they walked through the room. It was really cool. This one is here, Adobe Home Theater Experience. This one, this is pretty nice. Look at this. This nice big screen. This is a nice feature to do. I ended up I was in the market for these many years ago. We eventually did it. Those like the movie theater seats, they're sort of hard to get. There aren't that many places that do it. Maybe there's more available now, but this loft area obviously doesn't need to be a game area like this. Lots of times people just use this as a TV area. They'll put the TV up here like they do here, but maybe more centered, and they'll make this. They'll utilize it as more of a family room, like a second family room. I love that you can look down from there. That's something I think people appreciate. This is a funky room. They're saying this is like a workout room. So this really is a bedroom. They call it, the builder's calling this a gym, home gym, and certainly you can make it a home gym. But the truth is it's a bedroom. So this is nice. I do not see this too often. I mean, you guys know that I don't really usually do every single model in each of these communities. Leave a comment below. I'd really like to get your opinion on this. Do you want me to do more like model? I focus a lot on the communities when I do these videos. Do you want me to continue doing that, but add more model stuff like this? Let me know. I really would appreciate your feedback. This I don't see too often. In the master bedroom, you have a microwave. And you have a refrigerator and all this basically a bar down here. So if you want to have a beer, watch the football game, root for the Dolphins, you could do that. Nice big closet. And listen, if you're buying $1 million house plus, of course you're going to have a nice closet. And you might even be able to afford Neiman Marcus afterwards, hopefully. I absolutely love this. I'm outside in the Manhattan. This is why people move to Florida. I mean, look at the model here. Look at the pool area here. It looks really nice. So they have one of the things that why people use us at living in Palm Beach, Florida, is I personally speak to every single builder here in Florida and in this area and in Florida. And I know like where all the incentives are at any given time. Some of these builders are publicly traded builders, and they, when I say publicly traded, I mean they trade on the New York Stock Exchange. They're public companies, which means, here's the reason why I say that, means they are accountable to their shareholders. And so that means that they have to, when their earnings period closes out, their quarter ends, they want to show the numbers really good. So they might add extra incentives to bump the numbers up. That happens all the time. It's less prevalent with private homes, with private builders. This is not a publicly traded builder, but they do have incentives here today, and I'll tell you in a second what they are. But my point is, we always know what the incentives are. I know in one community that incentives are this. Right now, there's another community here in Avenir. I'm not going to say it now. Call our office if you want to know who it is. That has the highest incentives of the bunch, and you can literally get the lowest price here in Avenir at this exact moment. There's also another community getting ready to open. So there's a ton going on here, and there's a lot of new communities on the horizon in the next 6 months. Just heard of a really high-end one in Boca Raton. Reach out to our team. They're not going to open for at least 6 months from now. But getting back to the outside, they build pools here at Solana Bay. This kind of pool with a they call that a shelf, and you got the patio, the built-in lounge chairs. You have a hot tub. That's a hot tub. What they do is or a spa, they will isolate the water in there and heat that water up. That's how that works. Side of the house, you'll have your pool equipment, and you'll hopefully, if you have a pool like this, you want a heater. If you want advice on this, you let me know. We bought ours, and this was the right way to do it. You don't put the heater in with the builder. That will add about $5,000 to $8,000 more on your bill, on your tax bill, in terms of your assessed value that you'll be taxed on every year. So don't do that. Do it afterward, but stub it out so that you can do the heater. That's what we did. There's also a couple of factors when it comes to doing a pool with the builder, and if you will, it's convenient to do it with the builder. Number one, that's obvious. You will live if you do it on your own. You will live with 6 months worth of construction, which not everyone really likes. The other thing is, if you do it on your own, you have more flexibility in terms of doing stuff like this. Normally, when you work with the builder, they'll give you just like 4 options and choose A, B, C, or D. I'm just making up the number 4. It could be 5, could be 2. But your options are somewhat limited. If you go outside the community, outside the builder to do your pool, you have a lot more flexibility. You also save money. So it really comes down to convenience. Here at Solana Bay, you can build a pool, and they're quick delivery homes. I'll tell you more about those in a little while. Their quick delivery homes all have pools, because they know if you live in the north and it's January and February especially, or March, you're going to want to dream about living right here in the middle of the winter. So the lot prices, it can be as low as $15,000, can be as high as $200,000. This is common. People sometimes will tell you, how come he's $200,000 for a small piece of property? That's just the way it is. As much as housing prices have gone up in recent years, the price of land has gone up even more. There was, in one of the other Avenir communities, there was a lot sale recently for $500,000. I was in Artistry another Palm Beach Gardens neighborhood where they have lots in the sixes, sevens, and 800,000s. So it really is. Once you buy your land, it doesn't depreciate. Land is not a depreciable asset. Homes can be technically, but land is not. So that's one of the aspects of it. So 15 to 200,000. If you live on a lake, it's going to be more money. That's how they work. So they have an incentive here at Solana Bay based on your lot. It's not tied to the lot, it's based on your lot. So the higher lot prices have bigger incentives. Incentives currently today are 20 to 40,000. And when this video airs, it might be different. It might be gone. It might be more. Probably not more, but it's likely to be changed. It will. You can get if you're on a water lot. If you're picking a house that has a water lot like this, your incentive can be large if you buy today. That's sort of how they do it. But you can apply that not to the lot necessarily. You can apply it to closing costs. As an example, you can apply it to other upgrades, like upgrades in the house, whether it be your kitchen, whatever makes most sense for you and your family. So now I'm about to go into the granddaddy of them all. It's called the Santa Monica. It's not the biggest house they have on floor plans, but it is the biggest model they have, the biggest decorated model they have here. It shows well. Check this out. So it's 5 bedrooms, 6 bath, private bath, office, home bar, balcony. It's 4,048 square feet and almost 5,000 square feet total, but it's 4,048 feet under air. I got to talk about these features. It's got the 2-car garage and it's got the golf cart garage. This is a very golf cart friendly community. So if you're a golfer, there's not a better community in South Florida. There's Sandy Crane is one of the nicest public courses. They have a Jack Nicklaus signature course called Panther National that just opened nearby. You can literally take your golf cart from that garage right to the course. So it's got a little bit of a different entrance. It's got like that side entrance, which some people love it, some people don't love it. You don't walk into a dramatic ceiling, but once you get inside here, it's crazy. Let me show you what I mean. This house is crazy. So here's a couple of features that I know right off the bat. While it doesn't have that dramatic entrance that some people like, it still has a unique entrance. It's got that side entrance, which I see a lot of people. When we were selling in Arden, there's a model there called the Monterey that has this, and some people love it. I mean, there's a type of buyer that really does love that side. Let me know what you guys think down below. Leave a comment. Do you like the side entrance, or would you rather walk into a dramatic high ceiling entrance? Then you walk in, you have this area, which is a fake fireplace. I say fake because it's not real. It's a real fireplace, but it's not wood-burning fireplace. We don't really get too many of those here. I've explained that in other videos. And try to find, wood to burn for firewood to burn here in Florida. It's expensive and or impossible. This is unique. I like this bar area. And whether you're a drinker or not, I'm not. But if you're a drinker or you just like to entertain, this is a beautiful area to have. Look at this. So if you're into entertaining, this is a model I would definitely consider. So the other factor that people appreciate, which it demonstrates very well here, is lots of light. You have windows there, and you've got this huge slider here, and then here too. Hang on, I'm just gonna back up here. So you got the double slider action going there. The other factor I think that shows well is that, and I put this down, is that it goes from floor to ceiling pretty high. People, generally speaking, would rather have that when it comes to sliders. Sometimes you'll see when when a builder wants to cut corners or offer a less expensive option, they'll make the slides a certain height, and they'll put a transom. They'll call it transom up top as like a second window to get so that gets more light in. But that's a cost-effective way for a buyer with more of a limited budget. But I think if all things being equal, if your budget is unlimited or you have a lot to work with, this is what most people like to go with. People also do like this, like the fact that you got this second entrance. This is your dining area. Once again, huge island. Let me see if you can appreciate the size of that. Huge island. KitchenAid appliances. You've got 3 units here. Boom, boom, boom. Here. You got your hood here. KitchenAid, stove, oven. And, for the one thing I will say, this should be bigger. That's I like to say the pros and cons of stuff. Nothing's in there. I like to give you guys the pros and cons of stuff. If I'm buying a house this big, 4,000 square feet, I want a bigger kitchen. Your pantry is here. So it's got a lot. It's not like one big walk-in pantry, but it's a cabinet. So it's a lot of cabinet space. Overall, there's a lot of cabinet space. Look at that. If you look at the bigger picture, it's got a lot going for it. So they show this downstairs as a wine cellar, which I bet you it's locked. Of course it is. It's really a closet, but they lots of times what the builder does is they give you options as to ideas as what you can do with it, with the space, which I think is nice. This is a 2-story home. It's a big home, so it has to be a 2-story home, right? Let's go see what they have upstairs. So for the size of this house, this is my opinion. And again, I do the good, the bad, the ugly, and all this. And this is not ugly, but for a home this size, this loft is on the smaller size. For a 4,000 square foot home, this is an average at best size for a loft. Again, they use it as a very functional family area. But I guess one of the attributes of this home is there are several bedrooms off this area, which is if you're a big family, this can be a really good fit for you. So this is a nice ensuite. Not all the bedrooms on here are ensuite bedrooms. People love that. People like that. People just hide away in their bedroom, use their bathroom, no one bother them, and then just ta-da, here I am. Upstairs is the laundry. Very typical when you have that many bedrooms upstairs. So last but not least, let's go see what the master looks like. So here is, I believe, one of the nicest features of this house. This master is really nice. It's big. But here's the bonus part of it. Is it's got this really nice, see if you can see that, a really nice patio off the master suite, and or deck, I guess you could call it, and look at where it looks on. You got your fountain back there. Look at that bird. Can you see that bird in the distance? He's got his, I don't know how obvious it is, but he's got his wings spread open. As you can see, his wingspan. This is going to be, if you're going to buy a house like this is a premium lot. Now you look at this. They have a pool being built here, a pool being built here. Some builders, some communities encourage, I find, pool building. This is one of them. And I think that's good. From a resale perspective, I think that's a good thing to have. As I mentioned earlier, it's a big mistake to walk into that building right there, the sales center, on your own. That's a big mistake. We highly recommend independent representation. That's where we here living in Palm Beach, Florida, myself, Ray Fernandez, I get to work with you. I get to help you on your journey. I would have to be here on your first visit. That's sort of how it works. If you happen to come here and walk into that sales center on your own and call me a few days later, they're not going to allow me to help you. I'd love to help you. Cost to you out of your pocket for our help is zero out of your pocket. It's the bill towards us. It's the builder who pays us, and there's no discount. There's no discount for not using us. The builder has a separate marketing budget. You can ask the people in any of these builders. You can ask them directly. That's sort of how it works. We'll be there for the whole journey. We have to be there to introduce you, but we'll also be there. We'll help you with advice on pools, as an example. We'll help you with advice on options. We'll even guide you on lots. I got a great lot for somebody in Apex a few days ago down there, which I thought was a steal. We'll help you with that. We'll help you with the pre-drywall inspection. Sometimes the builders allow us to be there. If you're out of town, I could help you with that. If you're out of town and you want to see the progress and the builder can't get to it, I can help you. I'm in this community all the time. We have a state-of-the-art transaction coordinating team that will be there every step of the way. We will help keep those builders accountable. But remember, we've got to be there on your first visit. It pains me when I take calls and people say, hey, Ray, I was just there last week and can you help me? I could answer any questions you have, and please call me if you're in that situation. Love to help you. But in terms of being there for your journey, we would not. But that's how it works with independent representation here in Florida. See, here in Solana Bay, this is what it looks like right now. This is not one of the original builders. I mean, in terms of builders being here in this area of Avenir, they were a little bit before Apex. They were after Toll Brothers and Kenko over at Coral Isles. But they've been open probably a little bit over a year now. And I want to say something about this. I'm going to go over the amenities in a second, but here is like the what do you call it? The mailbox bank. They made a law. They passed a law recently in Florida where you're not allowed to have mailboxes. Like you can see here, there's no mailboxes in front of these houses, and you have to pick it up that way. I'm not really sure if I like it or don't like it. I think it's easy. I would personally like it, but in my community where I live, which is pre this law, we get our mailboxes hit by cars all the time, and we have to replace them at $300 a pop or so. So I think it's more efficient to do it this way. The mailman, I'm sure, loves it. The amenities. So they use a system called Invera. So this is what that looks like. It's a gate like this. And in order to get in, you have to go through that. I'll pass it in a minute. It's basically a virtual guard. The guy is probably monitoring several communities. And what he's doing is you put your license in so they know who you are, your driver's license, and you say, I'm here to see Ray Fernandez. He's the YouTube guy living in Palm Beach. He lives at 123 Solana Bay Drive. And then he'll say, okay, and they'll call me, and I'll say, yeah, let that guy in. That's sort of how it works. It's a lot less money. From an amenities perspective, now I'm the HOA president of my community. I see what we pay our security company. It's a lot, and it's because we have a guard there. Some people love it, some people don't, but it's definitely more costly. So this is a lot of the newer communities are going in this manner because it's more cost efficient. I'll give you the price of the HOA in a minute, but here's what else it includes. I'll give you what it includes. It sounds like I'm selling you something. Truth is, I'm not. I don't work for the builder. Living in Palm Beach, I got to say this. I should have said this earlier. There's no bias with us. And this is when I talk about independent representation. If there's a community like, oh, that one over there, that might be a better price for you, we're going to tell you. They won't. If there's an existing home for sale over there, they're not going to tell you. We will. We can do existing homes. So we want to help you. We do a ton of relocations. It is our sweet spot. And we are independent of the builder. And it gives us the latitude to help you in an unbiased manner. So this includes amenities, lawn care. So I think that's pretty good. It's not all communities in Avenir or in Florida, in this area of Florida, include lawn care. It's nice, it's convenient. I have a listing up the street where the buyer bought the house and listed it again because they want to see if they can make a little bit of money on it. It's nice that the lawn, because they don't live there, and we're showing it as almost like a brand new construction house that no one's lived in. it's nice that you could have the lawn taken care of. You know, have to keep fiddling with the landscape people. It includes lawn care. It includes irrigation. We need irrigation in the springtime, in the deep winter and the springtime. We have a dry season here in Florida. We get practically no rain, and it's easy for the grass to turn brown. So that's a factor. So that's good to have. Home automation, like alarm monitoring, all that kind of stuff, that's included here. And it's all for, here's your price for HOA, $258 a month. That's actually all very good. And that includes the amenities. The amenities are down there. This right here, and this is you guys know I know this community better than anybody. And I've mentioned this before, I'm going to mention it again because it's an important element about Avenir. This is Coconut where that Corvette just pulled out onto. This is Coconut Boulevard. This is going to be like the dividing line of East and West Avenir. Everybody on that side, which is the west side, the apex side, where you see that sign is, everybody there is going to use that clubhouse. Everybody on the east side, where Solana Bay is, and Avondale's up there as well. Coral Isles, that high-end community Coral Isles is down there. They're going to be using the east clubhouse. The east clubhouse is already built. La Biance, I did a video on there recently. They are going to raise their HOA at one point because they're not going to charge you for the clubhouse because that one's not built. That clubhouse is not built yet. This $258 number I mentioned to you is includes it because it's already built. Now, because it's built, it was funded by public tax dollars, and there's a factor of CDD when it comes to that. If you're buying new construction in Florida, you need to know, and you don't know what a CDD is, you need to get on that right now. Not every community has a CDD fee. It is part of your real estate taxes. In Avenir in general, it's a little bit higher than most other places in South Florida and Florida as a whole. This east side of Coconut, east side of that road, is higher than the western side. And the reason is that clubhouse. That clubhouse was built by public debt, and they took a bond out to build it, and they pass it on to you guys as homeowners. Now, they have a CDD over there too, on the west side too. It's a little bit lower because that clubhouse was not funded by public debt. It was purchased by the builder, and so they'll save you a few bucks. If you want to know how much, reach out. I'll help you, guide you in that. But each community here in Avenir is a little bit different. The exact amount of this CDD, I'm told, is $4,770 a month. So when you get your tax bill, you'll see non-ad valorem and ad valorem tax. That 4770 that you see if you buy in Solana Bay is going to be your CDD fee that comes every year until the bond runs out, which is about 30 years. Having said all that, I told you all the cons, I guess, when it comes to that. Having said all that, the clubhouse is nice. The clubhouse is super nice. It is smaller than the Western clubhouse, but it is really nice. It's elegant. I see people at the gym. It is not crowded whatsoever. They've got a really nice pool. All things being, I mean, you're sharing that clubhouse with the people over at Coral Isles. Those are $2-3 million homes, so they better be nice. So all is said and done. The amenities here in Avenir as a whole are outstanding. I'd be remiss if I did not mention the town center. It's one of the nicest things about living out here in Avenir. So it's similar to what they have east. I did a video recently on Artistry, which is next to Alton. There's an Alton Town Center. That same concept is being recreated here. It's called the Avenir Town Center. They started on the Publix already. It is almost complete, that Publix. By the time this video airs, it probably will be complete or really close to it. I have a list of other stores, by the way. If you're an Avenir person, you want to know what they are, reach out to my team. I'll or email me. Reach out. I like to talk to you. I have a list of some of the places that are coming in. They keep this stuff really guarded, this information. But it's one of the nice things about living here. You can take your golf cart from your community and literally take it down to Publix. Of course, you can take it to the golf course. But the town center is going to be quite elaborate. Lots of restaurants. The other big factor is, again, this is Coconut Boulevard. They're opening it up to North Lake there. That's almost done. They're gonna open this up on the north end, and it's gonna go to a road called Beeline Highway. When they do that, it's gonna make for a lot easier access to downtown Palm Beach Gardens. It's gonna be a whole lot easier to get to the Gardens Mall, one of the nicest malls in Florida. It's gonna be a whole lot easier to get to the beach. Probably the best beach, the closest beach is the best beach on one of them in the East Coast for sure. Definitely in this area. It's called Juno Beach. You can get there, you'll be able to get there real easy. I mean, it's not like it's 10 minutes away, but it's gonna be more like a half hour away. But it's gonna make it a lot easier to all the things that Palm Beach Gardens has to offer.